Whether it's a herbivore or an apex predator, crocodiles don't care. They strike at anything that crosses their path. That's exactly what you'll see today. When the Luangwa dries, every path funnels to shrinking pools. Gazelles gamble seconds at the edge, heads down, ears flicking at flies more than danger. In the glare, a crocodile is just another shadow stitched to the mud. Then the water wrinkles, no sound, just geometry. And the gazelle commits one step too far. The croc erupts from inches away, clamps high, and whips the body to flip weight into water. Dust becomes spray. Panic becomes drag. In a drought, thirst narrows choices, and predators wait where choices end. Southeastern Sri Lanka's waterholes become truce zones until they aren't. As herds cycle in, an impala dips its muzzle, blind to the darkness just below the glare. Crocodiles hunt with patience, not speed. The strike is the only fast part. A single surge turns flat water into a breaking wave, and the antelope is already off balance. The jaws land, the roll begins, and silt blooms like smoke. Around the rim, animals freeze, then melt backward. In the dry season, the waterhole is both lifeline and trap, stalked by thirst and policed by teeth. Not every ambush pays. Twice, the crocodile misreads distance. Twice, the impala explodes into daylight and skates free. But repetition is a reptile's ally. On the third pass, the approach is lower, the angle tighter, the timing cruel. The croc uses the bank's slope to steal a yard, then fires up through the mirror. Hooves kick, water detonates, and the grip is set. The impala's only counter, speed, doesn't exist inside a clamp. For observers, it's brutal. For the hunter, it's a month's meal banked on patience. Great herds read current, not ambushes. As the first wildebeest commits, a crocodile that looks like driftwood slides into the eddy line and matches pace. The attack isn't a sprint, it's a side door collision. One wrong footfall and a horned swimmer becomes a buoy with panic for a motor. The croc anchors the shoulder, then spins. The infamous roll, turning strength into disorientation. The herd surges past, but one life funds the riverbank economy. Killer tactics aren't complex, they're precise. On the Maasai-Serengeti migration, courage is contagious, and so is fear. A dominant female edges in first, scanning for currents and stones, not realizing the danger is alive. The far bank calls, the herd follows, and the river wakes up. Crocodiles launch like springs, targeting stragglers and hesitators. The crossing collapses into chaos, leaps, splashes, bodies colliding with invisible power. For the survivors, grass and safety. For the crocodiles, a seasonal harvest earned by months of stillness. Nature's drama isn't scripted, but the river always has an ending. Some crocodiles hunt like battering rams, others like conveyor belts. A Nile heavyweight pins a gazelle with a casual clamp, then manipulates the carcass head first, using gravity and water to fold limbs in. What looks impossible becomes a slow motion vanish as jaws hinge and neck muscles ripple. The river accepts the offering without a ripple wider than a dinner plate. It's shocking until you remember evolution had millions of tries to perfect this quiet horror. One meal can power a body like this for weeks. A wildebeest fights for 15 grinding minutes, kicks landing, horns thrashing, lungs burning against the current. Smaller crocs hang on, a larger one arrives and ends the math. With one precision bite, it crushes the skull, silencing everything but the water. In predator terms, it's efficiency. In human terms, it's hard to watch. The river doesn't moralize, it balances accounts. The herd keeps moving, as it must. Speed makes cheetahs famous, but thirst slows everyone. A cub edges to the waterhole while a crocodile drifts inside reflection and glare. Spectators feel the tension before anything moves. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. The strike is surgical, the outcome swift. Guides narrate with a catch in the voice. Wildlife is education and grief in the same frame. Predators don't target innocence, they target opportunity. The lesson for viewers is sobering. Edges are dangerous in the dry months. A crocodile latches onto a crossing zebra and the river turns to foam. The outcome is grim and familiar, until it isn't. A hippo, herbivore by textbook, muscles into the scrum and begins mouthing flesh. Rare, yes. Unheard of, number. Stress, scarcity, or curiosity sometimes blur lines in the field. Cameras capture more than kills here. They capture the edges of animal behavior, where rules bend and the river writes footnotes in blood and silt. Feeding frenzies look decisive, but physics still rules. Multiple crocodiles carve pieces from a young zebra until one brute claims the lion's share, then discovers it can't swallow. The head angle's wrong, legs refuse to fold, and the water becomes a clumsy dining table. Others nip, try to steal, fail. In time, the carcass will soften and the feast will continue. For now, the river offers a rare comic beat in a deadly script. Even apex hunters hit logistical limits. A crocodile clamps a python and thrashes, trying to snap vertebrae and drown the coil. The snake counters with raw tenacity, wrapping whatever it can, buying seconds with pressure. It's an elemental contest, leverage, lung capacity, and pain tolerance, filmed where reeds rattle like drums. Eventually, muscle fatigue tips the scale. Water is the croc's oxygen and the python's enemy. Predators battling predators make viewers pick favorites. But the swamp doesn't. It simply records an old argument between design philosophies. Florida's invasive saga plays out in a sawgrass theater. An alligator surfaces with a Burmese python, jaws marching the body down like a zipper. The photographer hesitates. What is she seeing? Then realizes it's a rare window into a subterranean war. Pythons eat natives. Gators eat pythons. Balance is messy when both sides are formidable. The sequence is slow, relentless, and unforgettable. A reminder that even in modern parks, wild systems self-correct in blunt, unsentimental ways. A relaxed weekend shatters when a pack of wild dogs ghosts in, hungry and electric. They sweep the shoreline first. Nothing. Then eyes lock on crocodiles sunning like logs. Curiosity edges into provocation. Feints, snaps of air, tails stiff with adrenaline. A croc slides a few inches and the mood rewrites itself. The dogs recoil, regroup, circle wider. On the far side of the fence, a child watches safely as nature negotiates with eyebrows and teeth. Hunger pushes, wisdom pulls. Wild dogs commit to a swim, bodies arrowing across a channel stitched with ripples. Midway, a crocodile wakes the water behind them, pure pressure made visible. The pack doesn't scatter. It synchronizes, upping cadence and aiming for the steepest exit. One dog glances back and corrects course by a meter, enough to turn a straight line into survival. On the bank, they shake off in unison, then stare at the surface where danger vanished. Teamwork isn't just for hunts, it's for escapes. Confidence is loud until the river blinks. The pack edges toward a loafing crocodile, testing if presence can push a reptile. Each time they creep inside that invisible radius, the croc moves an inch. No rush, just a reminder. The dogs hop back, laugh, bark, and try again. Predators meeting predators is a conversation, and punctuation is expensive. In the end, nobody commits. The scoreboard reads, experience gained. Momentum betrays the pack when hunger overrides caution. They pour into the channel, and the crocodile strikes from the angle no one watched. The grip is decisive, the drag pitiless. A chorus of alarm barks fades under churning water as the rest of the dogs pinwheel to shore. It's a hard lesson in a habitat that punishes impatience. The river doesn't care how fast you run on land. Some holds end arguments immediately. A crocodile surfaces beneath a dog and pins the skull in a vise. No room for leverage, no purchase for teeth to counter. The pack's frantic orbit can't change the physics. The river already owns the outcome. For viewers, it's a gut punch. For wild dogs, the cost of living so close to water and opportunity. Predation is not a morality play, only a math problem with small margins. Fresh kill, high spirits, and a fatal drift toward the water's edge. While wild dogs strip an impala with assembly line efficiency, a massive crocodile launches like a torpedo, grabs the carcass, and vanishes into depth. The pack howls and surges but won't enter that arena. They've seen this film before. In ecosystems with overlapping hunters, possession is 9/10 of survival, and the 10th is timing. A wild dog tries to drag an impala into the shallows for a cleaner grip. The water answers with acceleration. A crocodile knifes in, jaws agape, and the dog ejects from the river like a spring. Meat lost, life kept. A bargain any veteran will take. The pack reconvenes on dry ground, recalculating. Rivers collect tolls from the greedy and the unlucky, and nobody argues with a taxman made of armor. Four wild dogs bring down a pregnant impala at dawn, an efficient hunt sharpened by hunger. While they feed, tugging the carcass closer to water for leverage, a Nile crocodile detonates from the margin and rips breakfast away in one violent pull. The dogs snap and faint, but refuse the swim. Experience is a better teacher than appetite. In shared landscapes, the first kill isn't always the last word, only the first transaction in a market run by timing, angle, and nerve. From river ambushes to dust-choked showdowns, these clips reveal survival decided by timing, terrain, and nerve. Elephants rule with presence more than fury, turning water holes and roads into lessons about space. Crocodiles turn thirst into traps. Big cats choose altitude or exit when the math goes bad. Wolves, bears, and dogs gamble on courage and sometimes pay in blood. Nothing here is scripted. Every charge, feint, and narrow escape is a coin toss with teeth. Respect distance, read posture, and remember, in wild places, size writes headlines, but judgment wins the day. Thanks for watching and for caring to look closer.
Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And please, turn on your notifications bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.